think technology in general has been worked into everyone's day-to-day life.
It is the first thing I do when I wake up and when I go to bed.
It's easy to just pick up your phone, turn it on, open it up.
Call a ride and just go wherever you want.
New places to eat, new places to explore.
I met my girlfriend on online dating apps, so I'd say that's a positive right there.
It's great to stay in touch.
Keeping in touch with loved ones. That's big for me.
Do you feel like you're in control of technology, or is technology in control of you?
Oof.
That's a tough question.
I feel like I should be controlling it.
Oh, it's definitely more control over me.
My biggest issue with it is knowing when to stop.
5 and 10 minutes here and there, I feel like takes up a bunch of my day.
I feel like it's in control of me, like if my phone's dead for like half the day or something and I'm going crazy.
If I got as much as 2 miles away from my house and realized I left my phone at home, I turn around and go back and get it.
I think for parents, it's really tough because there are so many different screens.
I think by math grade is the way it is because of my phone.
Now I notice my eyes are like I blink a little bit more, they get tired.
He should just throw his phone away.
Usually I feel in control of technology.
Usually I can catch myself and be like, you need to chill out.
I think you have to set a limit and say that you control the phone, it doesn't control you.
I'm trying to leave my phone at home when I'm going for a walk.
Put your phone down. Let's communicate. Let's have some face-to-face conversation. Let's have some face-to-face interaction.
I think we're just gonna have to relearn how to communicate better with one another, or maybe have some sort of etiquette.
I'd say most people hate on technology, especially with the cell phone and using it too much, but if you're using it for good things, I think it's really helpful.
I feel like it keeps my mind stimulated and I'm constantly learning how to do new things with technology.
We think it's important that they do have access to it and learn it, because I think it's going to be, the way it is.
Technology is not so much it's a necessary evil, it's a necessary good that could go either way. The jury's out. It's up to us as to what we do with the technology.
Hi, my name is Peter Cermak, and I'm a software engineer on Digital Wellbeing. And I'm here today to talk about Android's vision for digital well-being. So let's dive right in. Today's talk will focus on 2 main areas. First, we'll look at insights, what we've learned from talking to users around the globe about digital well-being. And secondly, the products and features that we've launched, as well as our plans for the near future. So, how do people feel about digital well-being? This past year, our UX researchers have talked to over 95,000 users around the world to understand what digital well-being means for them. And while digital well-being can be very personal and nuanced, we have seen some patterns emerge. Users repeatedly tell us how useful and essential their phones are. People use their phones as their primary means of communication. They rely on maps to get around. Finally, phones have replaced essential items such as alarm clocks, cameras, payment cards, or dictionaries. This all may seem very obvious, but here's the important implication. If people rely on phones so much, then it's very difficult for them to disconnect from their phones. But if phones are so useful, then what do they have to do with well-being? Well, the use cases I've just described concern intentional usage, where the user consciously decided that they want to use their phone for a particular use case, such as call a friend. But it's the unintentional usage behaviors that make users feel guilty, getting distracted on the device and doing something that they didn't originally intend to do, or spending more time than they originally intended to. User said, "I check my phone to see the time," and then get sucked right in. Another user said, "I spend 1.5 hours on a social media app. I was appalled with myself." And there's more. Users report that they feel alone when others are using phones around them. Phones can have very negative impact on people's sleep. Phones constantly interrupt us, including during work hours. And users use their phones to fill in every single moment of their life. Whenever they have nothing to do, the first thing they do, they grab the phone. So why does this happen? Why do people feel this urge, this constant need to use their phone? There are two behavioral cycles that drive this: habits and social obligations. Let's look at each of them. Habit cycle. Let's start with an example. When I'm bored, I keep going into my news app and tap the same article over and over, hoping for a new story to read. So here we have a trigger. The user is bored. The behavior, they keep tapping for a new article, and then a variable reward. Either there is a new story or there isn't. The second cycle is the social obligation cycle between the sender, who is anxious to receive a response, and the receiver, who feels a pressure to respond because they know what it feels like to be the sender. A user said, "I was in a meeting with my boss, and my best friend kept texting me. I couldn't answer, I'm with my boss." Later on Twitter, I saw that she subtweeted, "When your best friend won't return your messages." This thing, this feel to need to have to constantly use your phone, leads to what we call FOMO, the fear of missing out. And this leads to resentment. People start resenting their smartphones. They say, "It's almost inhumane to always have a phone in my hands. I look at this thing more than anything else in my day, even more than my girlfriend." And then we talked to another group of users, a separate group. We talked to some feature phone users in Japan who consciously decided that they do not want to use smartphones. And they said, "Other people on smartphones are on social networks and feel the need to be connected all the time. I don't want to live like that. I want to have a clear rhythm in life. I want to have control. I want to have time for other things." And this inspired us to think about JOMO, the joy of missing out. Here, the joy stems from feeling in control of your phone, in control of your life. It doesn't feel like you're missing out. And people do want a better balance. We hear that a lot. Almost 1/3 of adults said that they are concerned about the negative impacts of technology on their own life. But even more importantly, 50% of parents are concerned about the negative impacts that technology can have on their children. So what is Android doing to address these concerns? We do two things. We provide tools to bring more awareness to the user so that they can understand their usage patterns. And secondly, we give them controls to change these behaviors if they want to. So I will now walk you through some of the features that we have launched. Let's start with awareness. We introduced a dashboard, which shows you how you've been using your phone. You can see how much time you spent on it today, how many apps you've opened, which apps you opened, how many times you unlocked the screen, how many notifications you received. And also, you can get a monthly view of your usage history. Once users can see this data, we provide them with controls to change their behavior. App timers let you set limits on apps so that you wouldn't use them more than you intend to. So once you reach the limit, the app will be paused for the rest of the day, you won't be able to open it, and it won't be able to distract you. To reduce distractions, users can put their device into Do Not Disturb mode. Starting from Android Pie, Do Not Disturb mode not only silences the phone, but it also hides notifications. So again, reducing unintended distractions. On Pixel, we introduced Flip to Shush, which is a natural gesture to silence your phone, allowing users to disconnect easily in the moment. As I mentioned previously, it's unintentional usage that leads to the most guilt. And one period of the day when users most want to disengage from their phone is at night. They want to have a good sleep. And so we introduced this feature called Wind Down, which allows users to set up a schedule when their phone goes into Do Not Disturb mode, and also goes into grayscale, so that if they do pick up their phone during the night, the screen will gently remind them that they do not want to use the phone. And we're seeing some promising results. We've seen that Wind Down has led to a 27% drop in nightly usage of phone, which we think is great because all experts agree that sleep is very important for health and overall well-being. But it's also notifications from work apps that can be distracting during non-work hours. So we added support for turning off your work profile when you're outside work. And we are very encouraged by the impact that these features are already having. 94% of people say that the features have helped them gain more control, saving them time to do things like see friends and family, exercise more, or do household chores, read or do meditation and mindfulness. But there's more. We've heard that 50% of parents are concerned about the negative impact of technology on their children. So Family Link allows parents to keep an eye on their children's screen time by setting daily limits and bedtimes. Parents can also manage the content that the child can see, remotely approve downloads and block individual apps, keep an eye on the child's location and lock the device remotely. And for all the times when your child has lost their phone in the couch cushions, you can ring the device. But digital well-being is a truly Google-wide effort. It's not just Android. YouTube launched a feature called Take a Break. If you want to take breaks while watching videos, YouTube will send you reminders. This is yet another feature helping users fight unintended usage. This one in particular helping users who did not want to spend too much time on YouTube, but just got sucked in and forgot to stop. Gmail also launched 2 well-being-related features. The first one is Snooze, which allows users to postpone their emails until later, so that they would reduce the size of their inbox, reducing distraction and stress. The second feature are high-priority notifications, so that you would only be notified when there's an important email in your inbox. On average, high-priority notifications have eliminated 97% of notifications, while keeping users informed when they receive an email from people that matter the most. We are encouraged by the data, which shows that our features are having impact on users and helping them meet their goals. But we're also learning from the research that there's still more work to do. So at Google I/O this year, we were very excited to announce new features that will help users continue find their own right balance with technology. As we heard, notifications can be a source of stress. There's a lot of information that I get on my phone that's useful, but not all of it is urgent right now. With Android Q, you can choose whether an app's notifications are interruptive or gentle. Interruptive notifications will make noise, vibrate, and appear on your lock screen, whereas gentle ones will not. Through our research, we've learned that it's unintentional moments that can lead to feelings of regret and guilt. And there are important moments in the day when your phone should match the intention of what you are doing. As an example, I've already described, Wind Down does this at night to remind you to switch off and get sleep. But imagine I'm at work or at school. I want to be productive. And my phone can help me be productive. I'm looking up calendar events, checking emails, reading documents on the go. But there's some stuff that will better wait to let me focus right now. So we're introducing focus mode on Android, which will let users pause distracting apps with one tap to get work done. When an app is paused, the app cannot be opened, and its notifications are hidden. This lets me focus on my work, and later, when I exit focus mode, the notifications will reappear and I can continue. We've seen that app timers can help people be more intentional about the apps they use. One figure that I forgot to mention is that for app timer users, 96% of time, the timers have helped users stick to their goals. But we've heard a lot of feedback from our users that it's not just apps that can distract. When users reach their daily app timers, they can easily open their browser and just carry on. So in Android Q, we're giving users more awareness. They'll be able to see their Chrome data broken down by websites, and control. They'll be able to set timers for websites that they want to be mindful of. But changing habits is hard. What we've heard from users is that they want more positive encouragement and motivation to stick to their goals. So users will be able to set a screen time goal with helpful nudges to stay on track. We're also making a number of improvements to existing features to make sure they continue to be effective. We're making it easier for users to see how they are doing on their app timers throughout the day. And we've introduced the ability to schedule wind down by day of the week. Because although we know that experts generally agree that people should go to bed at the same time every night, This doesn't fit everyone all the time, and we want to let users be in control. We're also adding more features to Family Link to help parents set ground rules and help kids be savvy about technology. Not all screen time is created equal, so we're introducing app-specific time limits in Family Link to give parents even more granular control over how their kids spend their time on the device. But it's not just parents who can help others disconnect. We all have the power to help the person next to us detach. And that's why, on Gmail's 15th birthday, we introduced Schedule Send, which lets you schedule an email to be sent at a specific date or time. You can be more considerate of everyone's downtime and mindful of sending email outside of office hours, especially for colleagues working in different time zones. So what we've built so far and plan to build in the future stems from the fundamental belief that great technology should improve your life, not distract from it. Our features and products ensure that Android gives users the best experience to manage work-life balance, which is another reason for users to want to use an Android device at work. Thank you.